what is our man saying? He says, the formatting is fucked up here, all right? So you got a single space here.
Well, guys, we are back with another breakdown. And you already know I'm always digging through the internet, catching all kinds of wild things. So listen to this. I stumbled on yet another video. Now here's where it gets interesting. This one comes from a licensed attorney out of Georgia. And hold up. The crazy part is that earlier this morning, I dropped a whole video talking about the prenuptial agreement between Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker. And the key point I kept stressing in that video was Georgia's rule that if you've already hired an attorney, no other attorney is allowed to jump in and advise you on that same legal matter. That's literally what my entire video was focused on. Now fast forward, I run into another attorney's take, and I'm pretty sure some of y'all even dropped his name in my chat. The lead attorney. And yes, he's fully licensed. And guess what? He said the exact same thing. Now tell me that's not wild. Me, someone who is not a licensed attorney in any way, managed to read the same law and end up at the exact same conclusion he did. Huh?
Now, what is our man saying? He says, Todd signed the prenup on April 4th, immediately prior to the wedding ceremony. Kandi's attorney at that time was fully aware that Todd was represented by me and had been actively communicating with me regarding the terms of a potential prenuptial agreement. So he's making it sound like there was no prenup at all. This was just a potential prenup maybe. So at the wedding, there was nothing. Then all of the sudden, I know y'all want this prenup to hold up. This all of the sudden shit. Despite that knowledge, Kandi's attorney presented the final agreement to Todd for his signature immediately before the wedding ceremony, without any notice to or consultation with me. And I have been significantly engaged in the negotiation process. This is like Kandi. I'm throwing it out.
Okay, so get this. Lead attorney, the guy who also runs his own YouTube channel, popped up, and he has the actual documents too. I'm not totally certain how long he's been practicing law. I want to say around 20 years, give or take. I've watched a few of his clips. I just can't recall the exact number of years he's been licensed. Now, wild, right? A licensed lawyer sees exactly what I saw. And for the record, I've never set foot in a courtroom. To me, the whole situation reads pretty straightforward. I actually get this legal stuff more than people give me credit for. Small flex, I almost went to law school, but I bailed because I didn't want to be chained to more classrooms forever. But anyway, here's what lead attorney breaks down. And the more I dug into the paperwork and listened to him, the more he landed on the same conclusion I did. The prenuptial was handed to Todd on the wedding day. Now, one thing he points out, and I don't think I've said this clearly because y'all love referencing the show like it's the whole story, is that reality TV is chopped up and highly edited, so we don't actually know the full raw truth. What lead attorney is pulling from the filings is that Todd's lawyer claimed the prenup was discussed verbally, meaning there was back and forth about terms and what would or wouldn't go in the agreement, but the signed document itself didn't appear until the wedding day. And I'm over here like, yeah, I read that it was handed over that day, but to learn there may never have been a finalized prenup before the ceremony, girl, slow down. Some of y'all in the comments act like you were in the room or besties with Kandi or Todd because y'all sound certain about things you clearly aren't. A bunch of you kept saying Todd already had the papers and just took his time signing. Nope, that's not what this says. According to the records, Todd received the prenup on the wedding day. Now, to be clear, I already covered this in my earlier video and walked you through it step by step. And listen, if that video didn't land for you, rewind it, play it slow, and pay attention. I promise it'll click. Because reading some of those comments, I'm like, did you even watch? The whole earlier clip was focused on one core issue. Kandi's attorney crossed an ethical line by negotiating with Todd. She can't negotiate with him about a prenup if he already has counsel. If Kandi's attorney represents Kandi, she cannot represent or directly bargain with Todd. So no, that's not allowed. It's a Georgia rule. It's literally Georgia law. It's a professional boundary that attorneys must follow. And the reason I made this video is to highlight that this licensed attorney reached the same conclusion I did. Now, another critique he levels, and this is something I've been saying the whole time, is that Kandi's lawyer looked inexperienced. I said, listen, I don't know who she hired, but it reads amateur. Now stick around because lead attorney breaks down how Kandi's counsel prepared the paperwork. And yeah, I called that out before, but y'all weren't listening.
The formatting is f***ed up here, all right? So you got a single space here, fine. Single space here, fine. Look at double space. Y'all are not paying, y'all don't care. Y'all just threw this shit together. You got a double space here, single space here, single space here, quadruple space here. Who the f did this? This lady's worth $30 million. Who drafted this complaint? Is Kandi a victim?
And listen, I already told y'all, I said, look, I'm used to digging through court filings on the regular, and there was just something about the documents Kandi's attorney submitted that made me pause and go, nah, something's off here. Now, I'm not a lawyer, so I can't sit up here and point to each line like this section is wrong, that section is wrong, but from experience reading these things, hers looked very different. It felt extremely basic, like that's the word I was reaching for, basic. It was thin, missing detail, and missing structure, and I was just staring at it like this cannot be right. Now, when I got to Todd's attorney's response, I said, oh, that's what we were supposed to be looking at. And what did Kandi's attorney do next? She turned around and rewrote her petition, but even that updated version was still a complete disaster. So if any of y'all run into Kandi, please tell her to hire a new attorney immediately because this woman is absolutely not doing her justice. Now maybe, as lead attorney suggested, she's letting a paralegal throw this stuff together. But honey, when you're representing someone on Kandi's level, you should be drafting every page yourself to ensure it's airtight. If you can't handle that, Kandi, go find someone who can. Because like I've told y'all, I'm not an attorney, but I've read enough of these documents to recognize when something is off. I might not be able to break down every clause. I didn't go to law school and I'm not supposed to, but even I was like, hold up, this paperwork is looking suspicious. And what did he say? The documents weren't professionally prepared. They were sloppy, scattered, just not meeting the standard you expect from competent legal work. I mean, you're representing Kandi Burruss and this is what you file? Be serious. Let me know what y'all think down below. Don't forget to like, share, and if you're not subscribed yet, this is the perfect moment to tap that button.